addition of that, I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Dan. Mike, so we got our first and second. All those in favor say aye. All same sign, motion carries. We'll work the agenda as set. So item number 1 is the minutes, November 25th from the FDA. Just taking a minute to look those over. Blake's first.
Sir.
I got Troy second. Does it? All those in favor of accepting the November 25th minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Thank you. Item number 2, is there any old business before the FDA? Hearing none. Item number 3, and that's new business, general manager report. Rob, hit this order.
All right. Not a whole lot. It's only December. The November financials are not prepared yet. Getting closer, but once they're done, I'll be taking a look at them and go from there based on December events. It's always tough to judge, particularly whether it is. So wait and see what happens over the next 10 days. So since our last meeting, which was Monday, November 25th, when Fill the Dome was loading in, we did have that, and then the 26th was the morning of the press conference, and they loaded up. They were out of here by about 1 or 1:30. Yes, they didn't fill the full floor of the building, but I guess in today's world, the 15 to 18-year-olds want to come together and do something good. Allow them 48 hours of time in the building to do that. So it's over the 15, 18 years that they've done it. They've done a lot of good for the Great Plains Food Bank and the surrounding food pantries as well. We did then end up having Thanksgiving weekend off because NDSU had a bye in the first round of the playoffs. Tuesday, December 3rd was the Health Tech Trades Career Expo. If you recall, we typically held that on the Thursday of that week, but with the North Dakota Agricultural Association no longer doing their large trade show, they're no longer doing their event here. To give a little bit more breathing room, we worked with them, and Fargodome's preference would be to move that to a time of year when the football turf is not down to avoid those extra conversions and work. But with the way they schedule their schooling and their curriculum, it really kind of works the best in December for them to do it. But they were nice enough to say we could move it earlier in the week, so we do it Tuesday, which gives us a little more time to prepare for upcoming weekend events, whether it's football or concerts. And typically we don't have to have turf down coming out of Thanksgiving weekend. So it works in the end. That loaded was set up on Monday and then early morning Tuesday. If you don't recall what that is me trying to stretch to at least get the 440. It is the freshman high schoolers from all over that, probably about a 90-minute to 2-hour drive that come through, and it's got all of your tech school, your tech occupations there, so people can take a look and they can start to kind of figure out their freshman their career path at high school and or college to see if maybe one of the tech field is the right route that to go. Then on Saturday the 7th, NDSU hosted Abilene Christian. They thought, hey, what the heck, let's only play 3 quarters, but they pulled it off in the end. So with that win, they are now hosting Mercer this coming Saturday. Questions on any of the past events at Fargo? Moving forward, then, as I mentioned, Mercer, big weekend for Fargodome. Frankly, I think we were all hoping, we realized it's Friday the 13th. I was hoping for Friday the 13th game, or at least an 11 a.m. Saturday game, but it is at 2:30 on Saturday, and great exposure for both the Fargodome, the city of Fargo, and particularly NDSU athletics and football, since it will be on ABC nationally. So that'll be a great game versus Mercer. And then really quickly, they're going to get the turf pulled, get the building set up, redone, totally changed over, and look like a concert for the Pentatonics Hallelujah concert, 7 a.m. loading. So it is going to have a lot of activity here, essentially starting at 6 o'clock Saturday morning and hopefully done sometime Monday afternoon.
What's that?
It is nearly full house. 17,000 plus people. It's one of their largest, if not their largest, attended paid ticket. It took off like wildfire. They had a lot of success last year on their arena tour. Saw it, but it certainly surprised a lot of people. Did it around North End Stage.
So, where is the closest other venue that they're performing in?
I don't know their full tour, but as far as like Arena Coalition Venue Network, they were in Columbia, South Carolina. They're in Bridgestone Arena at Nashville. They're in Columbus, Ohio. They basically essentially play NHL NBA arenas. I believe they're in Minneapolis. Minneapolis, St. Paul for sure.
So, I mean, you'll pull as far as Minneapolis, maybe get some Minneapolis people for those.
It's this time of year, but it's been surprising. It's all ages, but I've heard from a lot of people who have younger kids who have said they want to go to that. We're not going to sell Def Leppard Motley Crue alcohol numbers.
Good Sunday night.
We will sell more than a Mercy Me alcohol numbers since we don't sell it there.
Sunday night.
Hey, it's Christmas. It's Christmas season. You're going to go pour them down on a Wednesday night, so I really don't think you should be judging right now. Following that, then with the NDSU win this Saturday, they would then again host a playoff game. And in those times, it'll either be 11 or 2:30 p.m. on Saturday the 21st, as my understanding. Those times are set. Teams aren't. The times are set.
Did the win on the 14th give us a good probability for third game?
A win on the 14th guarantees a third game because NDSU is the number 2 seed. A loss on 14th guarantees not having a good game because nothing. So play it. So stick with me, kid. I'll teach us that we're it's not a round robin. It's not hockey. We don't give everybody a medal in football.
Did they play a best out of 5?
Following in the New Year, because with Christmas and New Year's both following on a Saturday or on a Wednesday, no good time in between those two holidays to Rumble on the Red. So Rumble on the Red will be happening in January 2025. This year, they will actually load in and workouts on Wednesday, January 1st. The varsity and JV tournaments will be on the 2nd and 3rd, Thursday and Friday, and the youth tournaments will be on Saturday the 4th. We have following weekend off. That is, I think, when we're targeting some further testing on the football turf from the 6th to about the 15th. And then North Dakota Elite Cheer, their organization is having a cheer competition moving in on the 17th, and then an all-day early morning to late night event on Saturday the 18th. Flipping back over, and spring is on its way because then we'll go back with the Red River Valley Boat and Marine Products Show. Moving in and having the show on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 24th, 25th, 26th, which takes us to our next meeting, January 28th. Questions? Comments? Having none and having nothing else, that would conclude my report.
Thank you, Rob. Going to item 3B, and that is committee reports. The Building Finance Committee did not meet, so no report there. We'll go to item number 4, that's insurance renewals, and Ben is kind enough to join us here today. So, Ben, the floor is yours. Appreciate that.
Thanks for having me. So, Troy, do you have it? And Todd, do you have it? We got everyone. So, yeah, again, thanks for having me. This first page here, just some final updates from the last meeting and to kind of where we're at with the rules going forward. So, we made the recommendation at the last meeting to move forward with Zurich's renewal offering on the property coverage. So we did find coverage, and that is in force, and everything there has been wrapped up. K&K we did go back to K&K, and they have revised their additional pricing and provided, reduction in premium of 5.1%. We were still working on, obtaining the excess liability terms. We had some indications at that meeting, but we do have formal terms now, which you'll see on the next page. And then the last item was, American Specialty, who's a carrier that's very familiar with venues like FARGODOME. It provided some indications that could be competitive, so they wanted additional information from the FARGODOME, which Rob and his team did provide. And just want to say thank you to them. Obviously, there were a number of information requests that we kept getting, and Rob, Zach, and Amanda were really responsive in getting that information back to us. So actually, at 4 o'clock today, we did finally hear back from them, and they have not provided formal terms, but they did provide a full primary $10 million excess policy, and their indication is $150,000 to $200,000, big range for the general liability, auto, and primary $10 million excess. Just to know, we're at 158 with K&K's full program, which is 15 million. So, their indication of 150 to 200, keep in mind, we would still have to go buy an additional 5 million to get to 15 of the excess. So they're not competitive like they thought they would be, but it was a good exercise. It's always nice to have another market in play, if you will, if something does happen with the K&K program. But if you flip over to the next page, the spreadsheet, if you will, the stapled items are just the notes from the last meeting. The spreadsheet will show the final numbers where we're at, and they are formal terms, so we are ready to find coverage upon find your confirmation we can proceed. But far column on the right is our final numbers. Middle column was the preliminary numbers we presented at the last meeting, and then the far left column of numbers is last year's. So K coming down roughly 5%. It's about an $8,000 reduction in premium. Our indication of the excess coverage was right in line with where it actually came in. So you'll see, kind of highlighting the green there, the overall numbers came down to an 11.2% increase over last year, down about 2% from where we presented initially. And that puts us on the top end of the range that we provided Zach back in June for a renewal increase. So we feel good about the result based on everything that we're seeing in the excess market right now. K&K has a 20-plus year relationship with the FARGODOME. They wanted to do everything they needed to keep the account. We think it's a good result, despite the curveball of, that falling back, that primary $10 million of excess coverage. So our recommendation would be to proceed with K&K as presented here and move forward with them for the 2025 term.
And so the final's the far right, correct?
Finals far right, yep. And then
They bound the 249, 499 for property. So you're looking for the 158, 317 plus the 1200.
correct. And those numbers, we ballpark those numbers. I mean, I think that it's the FARGODOME authorities or the building or finance committee's discretion on what they bill the city back, or what the city's billing you back, and you're billing the city back there, I think. They bill you, sorry, and so I don't know what they actually do.
We'll just go to the pit for
Yeah, those are discretionary, right? So,
good. Are there any questions for Ben? Thank you to him and this, and everybody at Marks and Ball. I'm just wondering if maybe they get a little lower quality, they'll go with the high gloss paper in their copy, or maybe we could do something about that extra $40,000 increase, but that's okay. We did make font movement here. I appreciate it.
Up a little bit.
So I would say, based on that recommendation from FARGODOME Management, I would request a motion to accept the K&K liability at the 158,317 as presented.
So that would be a recommendation to staff. Is there any, would there be a motion? So moved. Is there a second?
second.
Is there discussion? No discussion, roll call vote?
Todd,
Yes.
Troy,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Mike, down there?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you can now.
He's one.
Come in.
He's not retired. He's just tight.
Thank you, Ben, for that. And thank you for that. I think it is important to note the extra work and the great work Marsh McClellan has done since they've taken over our account, the communication, the help. You're very good in the transition with Susan kind of heading that up, and as we make changes and do different things here at FARGODOME to walk us through it. Essentially, either Ben or Taylor on their staff sends me an email with a PDF saying, here, yes, here, no, there. So it is appreciated. So I think it would be the intention. Hopefully, I'm also FARGODOME Authority Department to measure to stick with Marsh McClellan as the agent of record for the definite future.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Good information here. So we will carry on to number 5, and that is additional business, and that is an addition of NDSU office.
Yeah. So obviously NDSU has football has their coaches' offices here, and since they've opened the NODAC Insurance Performance Plus added on to that, we've kind of been wondering what's going to happen with coach's office meeting room space, since that was not fit out in that area. But I think we have our answer because they are continuing with the arms race. I haven't totally seen the drawings, but they are doing some significant remodeling of the front of their office space, doing some donor work there. But in the overlying lease that the FARGODOME Authority has with actually the NDSU Alumni Foundation, who then has the approval to sublet back to athletics. The authority has needs to approve any remodeling work. I have seen schematic drawings. They're not public yet, but they are staying within the confines of their existing space. The only, essentially, they're kind of taking the trophy case that is inside the office, and they're moving it to the outer wall of that far eastern wall, as you're walking towards the women's restroom and the 3 doors that go down the steps, because they are getting a lot of sometimes unnecessary foot traffic or unknown foot traffic coming into the office space where they're trying to conduct their work for people who just want to take pictures or any different things. So the trophy case that they're changing up that space into more of a recruiting, moving it so that the public will be able to see all the national championship trophies from the outside of the offices. And the only thing that would be changed that is not within the offices is when you look and you see the 2 pillars right before you walk into the office, the one on the east will be reskinned to look more like NDSU football, NDSU Harvest. Frankly, it'll look better than just a tan blob. So I think it'll spice it up. And so I have no concerns. I've met with the architect, the donors, football, athletics, the Alumni Foundation. I have an understanding this work I believe, is scheduled potentially to still kick off second week in January. They have to have it turned over March 31st. Football needs to have it by April 1st. So they will coordinate with FARGODOME staff as far as any electrical, plumbing, management things turned off like that.
Question. Yeah. Are we comfortable that any future Plan B renovations will not impact that area? So we're not to go and pay for rebuilding what they've already remodeled?
I will tell you that if they remodel and have that, I'm more than happy to move my office over there.
I almost asked the question.
Yeah, I think we've had those yes, I agree. Okay. We've kind of discussed it over the last 5 years when we're looking at it. It was more so of, hey, if you guys are moving your full operation over to the practice facility, and then just coming over here on game day, that could have more of an influence on what level, if there's ever a project, we'd never have to do on that side. But everything I'm hearing and seeing now, this will solidify it, because it was a several $100,000 project.
Is this
So I would just ask for information received, but I would ask if anybody has any concerns, please raise it. Otherwise, if you could make a motion to say you approve of them doing the work.
NDSU remodel, Asian football remodel.
Yeah. And I will report that back to the Love Foundation because their attorneys likes to cross that T.
No, that's schematics. At this point, they'd share with us, you're saying.
I have just a point and click of the areas, which this is the existing drawing, and it's all cosmetic though. They're not moving walls, so to speak.
All right, thank you, Rob. So I make a motion.
The
Rebounding.
issues proposed for that space.
Thank you. We got a first and first Dan, a second from Mike. We'll do roll call.
Yes.
Troy,
Yes.
Blake,
Yeah.
David,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Dan.
Yep. All right, thanks, Rob. So with that, no further business in front of the FDA. We are adjourned.